This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Wednesday, the 4th of April. I'm James Spann. Thunderstorms a no-show today for the second day in a row, but it still looks like we'll have one more pretty decent chance of getting wet tomorrow, then cooler for the weekend, and frost a possibility next week. Hey, let's take a look. We'll check some of the Skycam shots around the network this afternoon. First off, the view coming from Birmingham. Look at that. Just a nice sunny day. Not any cumulus development at all, as it looks like an MCS on the Gulf Coast has robbed us from that potential of getting rain today. There's the Chehaw Skycam, just a very flat cumulus field there from East Alabama. And down south, the Alabama Gulf Coast coming from Gulf Shores. It's cloudy. They've had some big rains just offshore today. In fact, you can see that nicely on the visible satellite imagery. I'm sorry, not the visible set. This is the water vapor satellite imagery. The upper low is over the Texas and Oklahoma panhandle. You can see that MCS, mesoscale convective system, big massive storms down there in the Gulf. In fact, there's the radar, and you can see it very clearly. The big range just offshore, south of Fort Walton Beach, Destin, Panama City, Pensacola, Gulf Shores. And that has disrupted the inflow into this part of Alabama, kind of cutting off the rain chances. Models have not done a good job with these thunderstorm areas in the Gulf for the past 2 days. And look at this. Got a new storm developing out there south of Houston. That's a tornado warning at 1:04 this afternoon. An isolated storm with a pretty good-looking signature there, moving toward Galveston Island. So all of the active weather sure has been in Texas over the past couple of days. Temperatures, now those are at noon today. It's warmer than that by the time you watch this. They were back in the 70s at midday. Having to do this a little early today because we're programming weather radios out in Hueytown. High should be in the low 80s in most spots this afternoon. And around the nation, look at the cool air now kind of taking over the central and western states. And the warm air is being really shoved into the southeastern corner of the country. And we will turn much cooler by Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's our watch warning map, just a handful of issues, some winter weather problems in the northwest, severe storms on the Texas coastal plain, a couple of flood watch areas, but again, nothing of any major significance at this point. There's our watch warning map, and SPC has dropped Alabama from the risk. We have slight risk areas to the northeast and southwest, but we have been taken out as we are stable thanks to that Gulf Coast MCS. Tomorrow, the risk area basically for the southern half of the state. And we might see some storms up this way, strong to severe. The main risk, as we've talked about, if we see that, would be from hail and strong straight-line winds. The tornado threat seems to be minimal. And day 3, which is Friday, just a couple of low-end 5% rings over Florida and over the nation's midsection. There's the rain for the next 5 days, valid through Monday morning at 7 o'clock. Pretty big numbers down there in South Alabama, 2 inches, but it sure looks like with the lack of activity today, the amounts tomorrow will be 1/2 to 1 inch, and beyond that, things look pretty dry for a while. We'll check the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon at 500 millibars. The upper low is near Memphis at midday, and that should, for sure, give us a much better chance of showers and storms. I know they've not shown up for the past 2 days, but looks like a pretty good chance of getting wet tomorrow. And again, maybe a strong storm, but tornadoes, don't think so. And look at Friday. Rain gone. We're dry, partly sunny, nice and cool. The high only around 70 degrees on Friday. In fact, the NAM is showing 70, the GFS showing 72 with a cool north breeze. And then Saturday, as we start the weekend, we'll start the day in the 40s. The high should be in the mid-70s, just gorgeous weather. And Easter Sunday looks good. Again, 40s in the morning, highs mid to upper 70s, just perfect. Monday of next week, a cold front slips in here, and that might squeeze out a shower late Monday or Monday night, but the chance looks awfully small. And hey, look here now, goodness. That's Tuesday of next week, and there's your late season April cold snap we always advertise. Big western ridge, eastern trough, 540 line down into Alabama with cold air advection. That looks like kind of a cloudy-ish, cool day with highs only in the 60s. And Wednesday, as we clear out, the high-pressure area gets on top of us. That's the morning where frost is a real possibility. With mid-30s and some of the colder pockets might see a light freeze early Wednesday morning of next week. And obviously, this is a week out, so, we don't be too specific. But as we get closer, we'll be able to fine-tune that. But growers, beware. A very real chance of frost a week from today. That's Wednesday of next week, April 11th. We'll check the end of the forecast, April 20th. Another upper low over Missouri and Arkansas. And if that's right, that would be kind of stormy. But, of course, we're not looking for anything specific out there, just looking for trends. And so far, haven't seen too many, but that's to be expected this time of the year because the weather can be so changeable and volatile. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes on the blog. Next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And don't forget to watch us on ABC 3340 News at 4, 5, 6, and 10. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and God bless. The first thing you've got to understand, you cannot rely on an outdoor siren. You cannot hear those inside a home, a building, a church. It won't work. You've got to get something inside your house. That's a weather radio or maybe a smartphone app. We work with a company that's developed a wonderful weather radio app for Android phones and iPhones. It knows where you are, and if you're in a tornado warning polygon, you get the warning. And if you're not, you don't. It's an effective device, and it's a great way to be sure you get the warning.